Fox Focus, email us at foxfocus@fox.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Wisconsin Weather Experts. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week. We've had a gorgeous stretch of weather, thankfully, because there are still a lot of people cleaning up after all of the flooding we've had.
I mean, this is going to be weeks, if not months or years
absolutely.
in some cases, before we're completely to the end of this story. There is some breaking news on this for the ongoing flood coverage here. Just before we went on the air today, we learned that the governor, Tony Evers, has now formally requested a presidential disaster declaration from President Donald Trump. The request includes FEMA individual assistance for Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha, and then public assistance for Dorr, Grant, Ozaukee, Washington, Waukesha, and Milwaukee counties. So in the meantime, residents should share their documented damage and their insurance issues and report them to 211 Wisconsin. So some new information there.
Yeah.
We go from the floods back to the dust storm that's making headlines.
I talk about my sister all the time, Rob, but my sister lives in Phoenix, and she called me as she was driving through this thing a couple nights ago. And I'm like, Ashley, come on, pull over. You don't want to drive through a dust storm. And then she calls me afterwards to tell me about the monsoon. But anyways, I digress. This is video.
Arizona's had a hard time here.
And my sister is terrified of all types of weather. But
oh, really?
Anyways, this is video out of Arizona from that massive dust storm. And this is, I mean, just incredible. The storm turned at the airport, basically, turned it into nighttime. It got so dark, it caused ground stop of flights. This type of storm is also known as a haboob. The wall of dust was kicked up by monsoon rains that really impacted traffic during rush hour. Now, another round of monsoon storms. Oh, actually, I skipped a SOT.
Yeah,
Do we want to take this sound real quick? Sorry, guys. Go.
Just some natural sound there just to really drive home the point. Yeah, another round of monsoons, as you were saying, hitting the valley, the Arizona Valley, Phoenix Valley area. Less dust this time, a lot more rain, as you can tell. This was the view just outside of our sister station in Phoenix. You can see that downpour quickly creating some big puddles in the parking lot and some pretty quick flood-like conditions there as well.
Yeah, it's been very active down in the Southwest, particularly that area, to say the very least. Now to Florida, who have also dealt with quite a bit of rain. A weather alert pounding the Miami metropolitan area. This video was shot in Miramar yesterday afternoon. A severe thunderstorm warning was in effect at the time. The National Weather Service warning of quarter-sized hail and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Thankfully, no rain is expected in that area today, but storms are in the forecast for the rest of the week. So thankfully they get maybe a brief break, but unfortunately more flooding could be an issue.
Right, and I think this goes to what we've been talking about a lot, and a lot of the discussions that we've been having with our good friend of the show, Shel Winkley, over at Climate Central, about the increased rate of heavy downpours, of these really significant heavy rain over one area in a short period of time, and how our infrastructure is not really built for that. You're seeing how quickly things are flooding, and of course, we're still living through the after effects of that here, and those videos just kind of back it up. From there, though, we actually go to somewhere that could use a downpour or two. Potential for lightning strikes today has firefighters in California concerned. Today, they said dry lightning could complicate the efforts to control fires in the central and northern parts of that state. The Garnet Fire has grown another 1,000 acres just since this morning. It's charred nearly 9,000 acres in the Sierra National Forest. There's no containment tonight as of the report of this story, and the cause is at this point under investigation.
It is still wildfire season, unfortunately, out there.
And again, talk about extremes, right?
Yeah.
You get the dry and the lightning sparking the fires, and then too much rain too quickly in many other parts of the country.
And we'll talk about it here in just a little bit with regional weather, but in the West, too, now they're dealing with flooding issues in spots that have all of the burn scars.
Right.
So lots of flood headlines out west as well.
And there's nothing to absorb that.
Right,
it goes straight to runoff.
Exactly. All right, well, with hurricane season still underway, former and current FEMA employees are sounding the alarm. In a letter to Congress, they warn funding cuts under the Trump administration have weakened the agency, slashing 1/3 of its workforce and slowing disaster response. Now, they're urging Congress to make FEMA a cabinet-level agency free from political interference. Critics also point to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's requirement to personally approve contracts over $100,000, which they say delayed aid during deadly July 4th floods in Texas.
We see additional layers of administrative burden that have been put in place that are slowing down the ability to move those resources.
Now, Noem and President Trump defend the changes, with Trump even suggesting states take over disaster response themselves.
All right. Wow.
Tricky.
Back here at home, I'm happy to say it doesn't look like we have any disasters. In fact, we have a really good long weekend coming.
We do. Yeah, we're inching our way towards the holiday weekend. Maybe it starts tomorrow for you if you're really, really lucky.
I'll
That'd
take
be
it.
nice,
Can I go?
right? Yeah, I'll take it too. We have a high pressure south of us. It's still close enough to keep us dry and sunny for today. But what we here locally are watching is this cold front that's up towards the north. It's going to bring in a few showers overnight tonight, tomorrow morning, but then we dry back out for the remainder of the week on into the holiday weekend. A bit more unsettled out towards the west. You can see a couple of different areas dealing with some rain from the Pacific Northwest down to about Denver. Unfortunately, nothing falling in California. As we talked about, those are the spots that really need it. But where it is a bit unsettled, we just talked about this, a lot of spots now, at least under a flood watch. And that's more so, as Rob mentioned, because there's nothing to absorb all of that water. A lot of this flooding potential in some of these burn scar areas that have dealt with wildfires in the past months, past years. So unfortunately, flooding could end up being a risk in some of those western communities. Now, back closer to home, weak surface trough near us. We've got some rain up towards the north, another area down towards the southwest across parts of Iowa. That's actually dipping towards the south. So not going to see much out of that, although we could end up seeing a bit more development in southern Minnesota, and that may move our way overnight tonight. But otherwise, what's up towards the north will slowly work its way down towards the south. So we're looking at primarily Thursday morning for some showers and maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. This isn't going to be a huge rainmaker for us, but it is some additional rain. Now, most of what you see out west passes south of us into parts of Illinois. Northern Wisconsin, even later this evening, we'll start to see some showers and rumbles of thunder. And then you can see, number one, more development towards south, towards the southern part of the state. And then what's up north moving south by early Thursday morning. Through about midday or early afternoon, we'll have the chance for some showers. Then we'll begin to dry out. Not going to completely rule out in southern Wisconsin a stray shower through the afternoon, but it really looks best through about your noon hour. And then Friday, sunshine returns to the area, and it looks to stick around heading into the holiday weekend. Again, this is not going to be a huge rainmaker for especially southern Wisconsin, maybe a little bit more up towards the north, but even statewide, most of what we see will likely be limited to maybe a few tenths of an inch of rainfall accumulation. And then past that, we are drying things out all the way through Monday. So looking really good. Hopefully you can get outside, make those outdoor plans heading into the long weekend before school starts on Tuesday for all of our kids, right? Now, temperatures across the state right now, a little warmer than yesterday. That'll be the trend for today. So it's going to be slightly warmer. Most spots are looking at middle 70s for high temperatures, although some upper 70s out west as well as towards parts of Minnesota and Iowa, certainly a possibility. We are going to fall again, though, as that cold front moves through tomorrow. In fact, we'll be back down to about 70 Thursday. That could be more of a midday high temperature, though, as we see more of a lake breeze kicking in later in the afternoon. Temperatures will likely fall back to 60s. 50s. And then Friday, to kickstart the weekend, going to be cooler, much like what we experienced on Monday with highs in the upper 60s, plus a little breezy. But notice right in time for Labor Day itself on Monday, temperatures begin to climb again. So overall, we're looking really good in the extended forecast with, once again, plenty of sunshine after tomorrow morning's rain, and then temperatures. Dew points also still look to be pretty consistent as well. No major spike there. I think we'll see maybe a little bit of a spike tomorrow morning, just with the fact that we have rain in the forecast, but really no complaints with our overall trend heading into the next couple of days.
No, and those lower dew points mean some cooler nights.
Yes.
Big, camping weekend for a lot of folks, or getting up to the cabin, or whatever the case may be. So I've been kind of urging, take the heavier sleeping bag,
Yes, good
maybe
call.
a longer, thicker pair of socks or something like that, so you can stay comfy through the weekend. However, some animals would like to go the other way and get a cool down. Economwalk's wildlife is in need of some help out there. Last week, volunteers were the ones in need, though, when they were lending a helping hand. The staff tells us that the centers at the animal shelter there, the 4 air conditioners stopped working on the 15th. Then 3 days later, 2 more of them went out. Massive bills came in, and at a rather tough time for the location. The center was already swamped after August's historic storms. Of course, they had some big bills there. Floods and strong winds sent the 3 animals to the center in one day alone.
In the avian nursery, it was 84 degrees. We were putting ice cubes in the baby bird's water, just running fans, trying to do everything to keep it cool.
Man, poor birds. All right, so the center did get 2 new AC units, and the community helped raise $30,000 to help. Staff members are keeping its donation page active. If you want to help out, volunteers are always in need of funds for medication, food, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you'd like to help out, there is a link. You can find it on the Fox local mobile app.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't think
Amazing
about the
community.
animals, but yes, depending on the breed, they need it to be cool as well. And comfortable.
Absolutely. Got to do what you got to do when your AC goes out. But thankful that the community stepped up and
There
they
you
were
go.
able to at least get a few more AC units.
That would have been an interesting job, to put the tiny little ice cubes in with the baby birds.
Exactly.
Gotta do what you gotta do, and God love the folks that do it, take the care of the birds. Speaking of the birds, Gino Salamone is for the birds. He's back to talk birds and butterflies coming up in just a minute. All right, we are out on the weather deck. Gino is joining us today. We've lovingly called this segment Gino Salamone is for the birds, because you are indeed for the birds.
I
You
love the
support
birds.
them, you love them, you photograph them, and you have had an interesting few weeks in your birding career.
Yes, because we're getting to the start of migration point. Now, the big time is in late October, but already there are things, and I was at Horicon Marsh. Okay, first of all, we're going
I
to talk
love them.
hummingbirds. Now, first of all, do not buy that colored liquid in stores.
Right, the
It's
one that looks
so-
like Kool-Aid or whatever?
Yes, no, it's so easy to make. You take 1 part sugar to 4 parts water, mix it together, and clean it out because it gets ugly after a few
Gets
days.
sticky and then the bees go after
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I have 2 hummingbirds that come to my feeder. That's one of them, obviously.
Aw.
And it's just such a great joy. And I cannot believe it. I don't think we had them. There are some trumpeter swans at Horicon Marsh.
Beautiful.
wow.
They've
Oh,
got
beautiful.
4 babies.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Which are quite big at this point.
Is that a lot? Like, I don't know if they have big.
You know, I think that's at the higher end.
Okay.
Of
Because it
raising.
seems like a lot for swans, whereas the
Right.
ducks you usually see a good dozen of those.
Exactly.
Well,
That's
and
right.
they're
Right.
not nice, right? Swans are.
When they have babies, they're not
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, they're
and
good
they're
on
very
Not that any bird
Okay.
is.
Some
but-
people use them as like guard swans, like
Oh, really?
golf courses to keep other varmints away.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Because
That
they'll put
makes
up a
sense.
fight and get rid
Yes.
of them. All right, what's our next picture
All right,
here?
so there are
that.
pelicans in Wisconsin. Now, I never knew this until the last few years. There are big flocks up at Horicon.
Okay.
And this one was all by itself and just seemed to want to be photographed. But
Definitely
it's,
posing for
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
it is amazing. And at Sturtevant, there are a bunch of egrets, like 20 or 30 egrets. But when I watch these pelicans feed, like they work together to move the fish where they want them, and then they open up that big gullet, and you'd be
Wow.
shocked at some of the size of the fish that they eat.
you. Okay,
That's
so they kind of work as a
amazing.
team?
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
There's not too many species that have that kind
No.
of like coordination.
Yeah.
And if you go to Horicon Marsh, you'll see flocks of these, and they're a beautiful sight when they're flying in the sky. But again, who knew in Wisconsin? Now, this was my dream shot.
Beautiful.
I
This
tried
This was like
for
a big
years.
deal for you.
Yeah.
It was. It's an indigo bunting that was at the Ware Nature Center in Franklin. And normally they're high in the sky, but they build their nests 2 or 3 inches off the ground. And in this area, this one, it has an insect in its beak, was going to feed its young. And I was like almost shaking because I was so excited. Like, I'm finally going to get
Oh,
the
it's
shot
so
I want of an
beautiful.
indigo bunting.
That's awesome. Why would they build their nest so low?
I don't know, but it's also in real thick plants so that predators don't
Can't
see
see
it.
it.
So it's
And
probably
yeah.
a protective
Yeah.
thing. What a beautiful bird.
It's a
though.
beautiful bird. I
Yeah.
just was so happy and so excited.
And you don't just photograph birds, you also do butterflies.
Butterflies too, and this is the time of year. Okay, monarchs, there's 2, also at the Ware Nature Center. I've got a butterfly bush, and I get at least 20 or 30 in a day. So they'll begin their migration to Mexico. And, you know, Ben Handelman and his daughter got into raising caterpillars, and
Yes.
I still do it. And, you know, very soon it'll come that time when they're not going to hatch.
Okay.
Especially the black swallowtail, which I think we have a shot of that. Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
they're so
different.
beautiful.
Yeah, there's a black swallowtail, and they'll overwinter. So the chrysalis will stay. Be careful when you're getting rid of your leaves because there are a lot of cocoons and chrysalis
Sure.
in the leaves. So if you can keep it on the ground, that's great. And that's a giant swallowtail. It is so beautiful.
That's huge.
Also at the Ware Nature Center, it's just, look, I have no affiliation except that I'm a member and I love it. And the variety of things you can see there is really, really something
Yeah,
special.
it's clearly a great place to walk and to just view nature
Yes.
as a whole. Now, okay, the caterpillars that I have been seeing by me, I
Yes.
had to do some research. So these really big yellow fuzzy ones, they're moths?
Yes, those are moths.
What a disappointment.
I know, but there is one
so many.
that I'm asking anybody out there, if you have these, I will drive to your house. I will reward you. They're Cecropia moth caterpillars.
Oh.
They sometimes are the length of a palm.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
how-
I'm pretty sure I had one. And they're
Did you?
big and yellow and fuzzy?
No, they're green,
Oh, okay, never
and
mind
they've
then.
got like spikes on top that
Oh.
that
Oh, I
discourages
think
predators.
I've seen those.
Yes,
Yeah, they almost
yes.
look like the Alice in Wonderland caterpillar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
interesting. Okay.
There used to be a guy in Ohio who would sell the eggs and the caterpillars.
That's a weird business.
It
but
is.
yeah,
I know. And
fascinating.
I would raise them, and it's just
Oh, okay.
because when the moth, okay, yes, that's how long the caterpillar is. The moth is at least palm size, and they're just
Really?
beautiful. You rarely see them.
So just because they're a moth doesn't mean they can't be beautiful.
Okay.
That's right. And
Yeah.
don't kill the caterpillars.
No.
Oh, yes, please don't.
Yes.
Don't step on
I
it.
know, for sure. All right, so the one question that I got repeatedly after you were on the show last time, and you don't have to share if you don't want to, don't have to give away the secret sauce, but I had many people ask what you used to shoot.
Okay, I don't know. Does that tell you something about me?
Well, this
I got
was a
the
gift.
camera as a gift,
Yeah.
and
well,
then
that's
I got
fair.
the lens as a
Yeah.
gift. But I will next time bring my camera.
Okay, I
and we
should
will
have
show
warned
it.
you ahead of time.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay.
Well, and then
I'm-
what about those who want to get into birding? Don't give your spots. I know a lot of birders are secretive. Obviously, you go to where.
I'm a sharer.
Okay, good.
How do you start off as
You
a
know,
birder?
I live near the Menominee River Parkway, and I started walking that parkway, and all of a sudden I would see birds, especially in April and May when the migration is coming through, and the leaves haven't fluffed out.
Okay.
Because once the leaves are out, it's really hard to see the birds.
Okay.
And I just got addicted. I had a camera with a small lens. I would do my best with that, and then I got this great gift from my cousin who bought me the long lens, and now I can really have fun.
Well, you let us know, and we
That's
can
great.
always
Okay.
pass it along
Sure.
or talk about it on your next visit, which hopefully will be in a few weeks. We get some more
October.
information.
Yes.
Because obviously it's a big time of year for
Yes,
birds.
it is.
Very,
What
very
happens in
busy.
October?
The mass migration
Okay.
that
Yeah.
comes through our state, heading south.
All right.
Depending on the winds and the
One
weather.
more month.
There you go.
The
It's
winds and the
all
weather.
connected, right? Migration,
yes,
weather. We've been
absolutely.
talking a lot about monarch butterflies
Yes.
because of that migration. You can learn more about that actually on the podcast, The ISO Bar, which is on YouTube and the Fox local channel as well. We'll end on the Dreambird right
Beautiful.
there.
Look at it.
The Dreambird taken by the Dreamboat, Gino Salvo. Thank you, Gino. We'll be
Thank you.
back with more weather experts right after this. All right, welcome back to Wisconsin Weather Experts. We always have fun with Gino.
We do.
It's
He's
always a
the
good
great.
time.
He's just so knowledgeable. He knows about everything.
He does, except his own camera. He doesn't know anything
Nope,
about that.
nope, that was a gift.
He'll get us that info, though. A lot of you did ask, so we will pass that along. That's a question we have. If you have questions, what do they do?
Here's your QR code. Make sure you scan it, and it'll bring you to a form that you can fill out. And this goes for pictures, too. You know, maybe you took a picture of the clouds, the sunset, the sunrise, and you just have questions. Feel free to send them our way. We'd love to dedicate at least a little bit of time to answering. And, you know, if we don't get to it right away, we do the show Monday through Friday. I guarantee we will have time at some point.
Right, and some of them, may not be TV-friendly questions. That's fine too. We'll answer those.
Yeah, we
just,
can reword.
one-on-one. Just because we don't answer a question on the show every day doesn't mean we
That
didn't
is
get
true.
any. But yeah, we'd like to have more. This was actually your story, so why don't you talk about the cool occasions?
Sure.
Didn't you put this in the show?
I did, I believe from Sunday.
Oh, well, we've
but
been kicking it ahead a little.
I like this. So it's a new trend that's taking off, and it's called Coolcations. It's changing Europe's vacation map, and I think it makes sense. Now, record heat waves and wildfires are keeping tourists away from traditional hotspots, but that hasn't slowed travel. Instead, this new trend called Coolcations, as we just talked about, is becoming a thing. So travelers are skipping the sweltering beaches of Spain and Greece and heading north to cooler, less crowded destinations such as Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Poland. Experts say it's a shift that's reshaping summer tourism, and it might be here to stay. So I think, it makes sense to plan your travel around seasons.
Yes, and your comfort level, too.
Yeah, including Europe. But I do agree that, Carl's in Switzerland right now.
Yeah,
Then again, he has family there, but it is.
And
it's
this is our
becoming
Carl
so
can.
popular.
This is how we keep track of him, make sure he comes back.
Exactly. We
No,
make
we're
sure he
kidding.
comes and waves every 20 minutes so that we know everything's fine.
Carl is safe.
No, but I think a lot of these maybe lesser travel destinations are becoming more popular because you're going to be comfortable. You can go there at any time of the year, and it's just beautiful. There are so many beautiful spots across our globe.
And there's sure alternatives. I'd love to see Norway with the fjords and all that
Me
kind of
too.
stuff. So
Northern Lights.
add it to your bucket list. Now, of course, it might actually help you live longer if you escape some of this heat. I know our summer's almost over, and we probably won't be getting the same kind of stretches we went through, but a new study suggests that actually living through heat waves can make people age faster. Scientists looked at 15 years worth of heat data from 25,000 adults in Taiwan and found that 2 years of exposure to heat waves, which were defined as periods of at least 2 consecutive days of abnormally high temperatures, could age individuals by an extra 8 to 12 days, an extra 8 to 12 days. They also found that biological age increased about 9 days for those who experienced 4 or more heat wave days over that 2-year period. Those who tend to spend more time outside, like manual workers, things like that, their biological age increased by 33 days. The study was published Monday in the Nature Climate Change Journal.
Oh, very interesting. You just think about the stress on your body, but you'd have to think too, it probably goes the same way with extreme cold because your body's working extra hard to warm yourself up. Obviously, we don't see as much of that.
Right, but perhaps it's a little easier, particularly for those who don't have the means to get warm, or at least to get out of the cold as it is compared to like staying cool.
True.
It's pretty expensive air conditioning and not everybody has it.
Very true.
Obviously, if you're an outdoor worker, that's not a thing. Whereas if you're working hard enough outside, you do warm up. But I think you're right, cold must do it as well. Either way, we are headed toward pumpkin spice latte season. Definitely feels like it outside, I suppose, the last couple of days, and it is now officially here. Yesterday was the first day that you could actually get your hands on a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. They're also returning with a pair of lattes called Pumpkin Cream Cheese Muffin.
Whoa.
And the Raccoon Cake Pop. So if you're tired of the pumpkin, but you still want to feel those fall vibes, Starbucks has got you covered. They added the pecan oat milk cortado as well to the fall menu.
Oh my gosh.
I just like saying cortado.
And then no more sugar the rest of the day, okay?
Hakuna cortado. Hakuna cortado.
Dun-dun-dun.
See you tomorrow.